Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. I'm Shireen Farhana and will be presenting today's webinar on how to manage your inventory effectively with Zoho Books. Zoho Books is an online accounting software that can be used to manage your financial operations, perform basic and advanced level of stock tracking, monitor project performance, and generate comprehensive accounting reports for your business. In today's webinar, we will focus exclusively on the various inventory tracking capabilities within Zoho Books and how to make the best use of them to manage your stock effectively. Let us consider the example of a fictitious business, Xyla Electronics. It is a recently established company with physical stores in 3 different locations across the USA, as well as online storefronts on both Amazon and Shopify. To efficiently manage the inventory, Xyla Electronics operates 3 strategically located warehouses across the country. They typically sell a wide range of electronic items such as computers, laptops, tablets, smartphones, TVs, cameras, audio equipments, and other related components and accessories. On a daily basis, Xyla Electronics will have to perform various tasks like recording the sales made at their physical stores and online channels, processing customer returns, placing orders for low stock items from their vendors, tracking the location of their product deliveries, generating financial reports, and performing inventory consolidation at the end of day to ensure that it matches with the actual stock in the warehouses. All these operations can be handled in Zoho Books seamlessly. Let us now see how to make the best use of the inventory tracking features in Zoho Books to handle their day-to-day operations. The first step would be to set up warehouses. To do so, go to Settings, Warehouses, click Enable Multi-Warehouses. For the purpose of this webinar, I've already created warehouses for each of the locations. At any given point of time, the stock levels in each warehouse can be viewed from the warehouse report. This report displays other key information such as the quantity ordered, committed stock, details of the incoming and outgoing stock for each warehouse. Now that the warehouses are set up, the next step is to enter the items list. All the products sold and services provided by Xyla Electronics can be recorded under the items module. Let's see how to quickly create an item. Go to Items, click on the plus new button. If the item is a physical product, choose the item type as goods. However, if it is a service, such as repairs or installations, the service option needs to be selected. I'm just filling in the details to create an item here. If the item's stock levels need to be monitored based on transactions, make sure to enable this option, Track Inventory for this item. Select the inventory account to which the item should be mapped. Enter the opening stock details and choose the warehouse. Once you've provided all the required information, click Save. This is how you record a regular inventory item. Apart from tracking stock levels, you can also track the movement of each unit or multiple batches of the same item. This can be done by using the serial number and batch tracking functionalities in Zoho Books. To enable these options, go to Settings, Preferences, Items. Under the Advanced Inventory Tracking, you can choose to enable the serial number tracking or enable batch tracking or both. You can configure the transactions in which the serial numbers or batch numbers should be tracked. You can choose to mandate the tracking as well as per your preference. Once done, hit Save. In the item details page, you will now be able to choose the mode of stock tracking for this particular item. I am choosing track serial number in this instance. You can see this icon, upon clicking which I will be able to add the serial numbers. This item has opening stock of 10, so I'll have to add 10 serial numbers to track each unit separately. Hit Save. Once done, you will be able to view all the serial numbers entered for this item. You can find a specific number as well in order to track a particular unit. Let us see a couple of situations in which the serial number tracking and batch number tracking will come in handy. Consider a scenario where Xyla Electronics receives an order for 5 mobile phones. An invoice is created to record the sale. However, it later turns out that one of the mobile phones is faulty and the customer returns it. It is now crucial to separate and handle the faulty unit properly to prevent it from being included in the next sale and to facilitate the return process. Identifying the specific unit that is faulty can be challenging without proper tracking mechanisms. This is where serial number tracking can be employed. While creating the item, Xyla Electronics can enter the IMEI number of each unit as its serial number. Let us consider this example. I am choosing to track serial number and I am entering the IMEI number of each unit as its serial number. By doing so, Xyla Electronics will be able to precisely track the movement of each unit, facilitating better inventory management. Apart from handling returns, serial number tracking also proves to be beneficial in cases of warranty management, quality control, and counterfeit prevention. Let's consider a different scenario involving the purchase of printer cartridges. Xyla Electronics purchases a total of 90 cartridges in 3 batches of 30 cartridges. 2 batches will have an expiration date set for 2 years from now, while the third batch will expire in 1 year. It would make sense for them to sell the printer cartridges with the early expiration date first to avoid any losses due to item expiry. This case can be efficiently handled using the batch tracking functionality. Let me show you how. Consider this item for which I have enabled batch tracking option and have entered the batches as well. I have categorized each batch based on the expiration date. Cartridges with the early expiration date is grouped in one batch while the later expiration date in another batches. Now, when invoicing, Xyla Electronics gains valuable insights as to which item needs to be sold first from their inventory. This approach ensures that items with shorter shelf lives are sold first, minimizing the risk of incurring losses due to expired inventory. Let us quickly see some advantages of using batch number tracking. As we've already seen, they will be able to track the movement of different batches of the same item, monitor perishable goods, keep tabs on the expiration date, which will help in quality control. Let us move on to the next feature, item groups. Suppose that Xyla Electronics sells phone cases in different colors and need to record all the variants under the items module. To add these items one at a time would be a tedious and a repetitive task. However, by utilizing the item groups feature, they can swiftly add multiple items at once. Let's see how to create an item group. Go to the items module, click item groups, click on the new item group button. Give a suitable name for your item group. Look for the attribute field, where you can define the attribute that distinguishes the variants. You can have multiple attributes here. In this case, the attribute would be color. Input the specific color options like black, white, gray, etc. as the available choices for the attribute. As you add the color options, you can see that the system automatically generates the corresponding items. You can even choose to generate the SKU automatically for all the items. Fill in the rate for each item, or you can choose to apply the same rate for all the items. Once all the relevant details are filled in this page, hit Save and Next. You will be able to define the opening stock for each of the items in this item group as per your preference. Hit Save. By utilizing this feature, Xyla Electronics can efficiently organize the inventory of phone cases with different colors, significantly reducing the time and effort for data entry of each and every item. When we move to the item section, you can see all the items listed separately. Please note that each item in the item group will behave as a separate item. You can edit the screen and change the details as and when necessary. In addition to item groups, we also have a feature called composite items. This will come handy in cases when Xyla Electronics will have to combine multiple items and sell it as a single item with custom rates. Let's say that during festive seasons, Xyla Electronics wants to sell mobile phones together with a specific accessory like headset. Using the composite items feature, they can bundle the mobile phone and its accessory and can set a custom rate for the bundle, or can choose to calculate the composite item rate by summing up the rates of the individual items. Let's see the steps to create a composite item in Zoho Books. Firstly, the option needs to be enabled from Settings. Go to Settings, Preferences, Items, Enable Composite Items, hit Save. Navigate to the Items module, click Composite Items section, New Composite Items. Give a suitable name and enter the other relevant details. Choose the items that need to be added to this composite item. In this case, it will be the mobile phone and the headset. You can even define the quantity of items that need to be added to make this composite item. Fill in the other required information. Hit Save. The opening stock that is entered pertains to only the composite item. It will not affect the stock of the individual items. To increase the stock of the composite item, you can either create purchase transactions like bills or create a bundle. Bundling is a technique of increasing the stock of a composite item by fetching the stock from its individual constituents. Let me create a bundle. Let me show on how the stock of its individual items are affected after creating a bundle. So if I check this mobile phone, you can see that the quantity has decreased by 2. It is to be noted that creating a sale or a purchase transaction of the composite item will only affect the stock of the composite item as a whole and not the stock of its individual constituents. Up until now, we have seen multiple features pertaining to the items module. In the following segment, we will delve into the advanced capabilities that can enhance the handling of sales and purchase transactions. There are two modes of stock tracking in Zoho Books: accounting stock and physical stock. Accounting stock represents the stock level upon recording a transaction. The accounting stock increases when you record bills and decreases when you create invoices. However, on the other hand, physical stock is affected when you physically move the stock or items from or to your warehouse. It increases when you record purchase receipts and decreases when you create shipments. While talking about the physical stock, you might have noticed two new terms, shipments and receipts. These modules enable you to track the movement of stock in real time. We will be seeing more about these modules soon in this webinar. Before that, let us understand the modes of stock tracking with an example. I am recording the sale of 2 TV sets by creating an invoice. If I check the stock levels, you can see that the opening stock of this item was 5. Now the stock on hand has become 3, indicating that a sale of 2 units has been made. This is the value of the accounting stock. However, if you see that the physical stock is still at 5, this means that the goods or the item is yet to be delivered to your customer. So, once I know that the items have reached my customer, I will mark this invoice as shipped. Once done, if I check the stock of my item, you can see that the physical stock has also reduced by 3. With these two modes of stock tracking, you will be able to have an accurate picture of your inventory levels at any given point of time. With the array of inventory features we've explored thus far, let's see how we can leverage them in creating sales and purchase transactions. Mr. John Hector has placed an order with Xyla Electronics. Let's see how we can process this order. The first step would be to create a quotation with the list of items ordered, their quantities and the prices. For the purpose of this webinar, I've already created the quotation. Once the customer reviews and accepts the quotation, the next step would be to create a sales order. A sales order is a document sent to the customers confirming the items and their prices. Any necessary changes regarding the quantities or rates can be made in the sales order. To create the sales order with the same list of items as in the estimate, go to the accepted estimate, click on convert to sales order. Review the details, hit save and send. Once the customer is satisfied and confirms the order, the next step would be to convert the sales order to an invoice. To create an invoice from the sales order, go to the confirm sales order, click on the convert button, convert to invoice. In the invoice, you will be able to choose the batch number or serial number if it has been enabled for any of the items. Review the details, hit save and send. If the customer has made the payment already, you can record the payment for this invoice directly. Normally, as soon as an invoice is created, the accounting stock is affected and the stock levels are reduced in Zoho Books. Let's quickly see that. Let's see for the item Epson. The opening stock is 90 and the accounting stock is 89. Whereas the physical stock is yet to be reduced, which means that the items are yet to be delivered to the customer. To know the real-time movement of the stock and to track the sale, Xyla Electronics can make use of the Packages and Shipments module in Zoho Books. A package can be created from the sales order directly. Go to the sales order, click Create Package. It will contain the list of items that need to be shipped to the customer. Review the details and hit save. Once the package has been created, it is time to ship it to the customer. You can choose to ship the package manually or via a shipping carrier. For manual shipments, the order needs to be manually marked as delivered. Alternatively, if third-party shipping carriers are integrated to Zoho Books, real-time shipment tracking information is available for both Xyla Electronics as well as the customer. Once the shipping carrier delivers the goods, the shipment status in Zoho Books is automatically updated as delivered. For the purpose of this webinar, I am choosing to ship the goods manually. Enter the details. Hit save. You can go to the shipment that has been created. Click Mark as delivered. Now, if you go back to the same item and check the stock levels, you can see that the physical stock has also reduced by 1. This comprehensive process ensures a streamlined and efficient order fulfillment. If you feel that this process is lengthy and requires a lot of manual work, then worry not, as the entire process can be automated by the sales order automation cycle. Transactions like invoices, packages, and shipments can be automatically created as soon as you execute a sales order cycle. This can be done once you create a sales order. Let's explore how to fulfill a sales order by using the sales order automation cycle. The option needs to be enabled from Settings. Go to Settings, Preferences, Sales Orders, click Sales Order Cycle. You can select the transactions that need to be created automatically upon executing the sales order cycle. Set the shipment preferences, save. Now let me quickly create a sales order. When I click this option, you can see this pop-up which asks me to execute the sales order or overwrite or skip the sales order. I'm choosing to execute the sales order cycle. This action triggers the automatic creation of transactions, eliminating the need for manual intervention at each step. As you can see, after I clicked on execute sales order, the packages and invoices have been automatically created. A payment has also been recorded for the invoice. The package has been shipped and marked as delivered as well. Should you wish to bypass the sales order cycle for certain transactions, you can choose to override the sales order cycle or skip it completely. Let's say that this item delivered to your customer turns out to be defective and he wants to return it. This return can be processed by raising a sales return in Zoho Books. Before processing the return, you need to ensure that the item is marked as a returnable item. Only then you can create sales returns for the particular item. To process the return, go to the sales order, click Create, click Sales Return. Retain the items that need to be returned, select the warehouse as necessary, hit Save. Once you receive the items to your warehouse, you can record the receive. This will increase the stock in your warehouse. By completing these steps, the return will duly be recorded. Now, to document the refund, you need to create a credit note from the sales return. You can check the amount that needs to be refunded to your customer. Once you've saved the credit note, click on the three-dotted icon and hit Refund. You can choose the account from which the amount needs to be refunded. Hit Save. By following these steps, you can effectively record both the return of items as well as the refund. We've completed the sales modules and it's now time to head to the purchases module. In the event that Xyla Electronics runs out of stock or need to procure items from their vendors, the incoming stock can be recorded using the purchases module. The first step would be to create a purchase order to notify the vendor about the items that need to be purchased, the quantities and the prices. Here's how to do it. Head to the purchases module, go to the purchase order section, create new purchase order. Select the vendor name, enter the list of items that need to be bought, hit Save and Send. Once the purchase order has been issued, it's time to convert the purchase order to a bill. This can be done from within the purchase order. Click on Convert to Bill, review the details and save. You can directly record a payment for this bill. Do note that posting a bill will only increase the accounting stock of an item. Let's see that with an example. The purchase order was raised for this item. As you can see, the accounting stock has increased by 1, whereas the physical stock is still 0. The accounting stock does not provide accurate information as to whether the items have actually been delivered to your warehouse. To track the delivery, Xyla Electronics can make use of the purchase receipts functionality. When the vendor dispatches the items, they can create a purchase receipt entry which will in turn increase the physical stock of the item. To create the purchase receipt, head to the purchase order, click on Receive. Check for the list of items that will be delivered and save. You can mark the purchase receipt as in transit, which means that the items have been dispatched from your vendor. Once you receive the items to your warehouse, mark it as received. This will increase the physical stock of the item. In case you need to record any defective items to your vendor, you can record the return by creating a vendor credit. Go to the bill that was created, click on the three-dotted icon and click Create Vendor Credits. You can enter the list of items that need to be returned to your vendor, enter the rate that indicates the amount that will be refunded to you and click on Save. Once you've received the refunded amount, you can click on the three-dotted icon and record the refund as well to your bank account or cash account. Moving on, let's say it's the holiday season and Xyla Electronics is offering flat discounts on laptops and mobile phones to boost sales. This strategy has become a tremendous success, leading to a surge in orders. Due to high demand, Xyla Electronics finds itself facing shortage of stock. Some items are already out of stock while others have been committed to fulfill existing sales orders. They are in a fix as there isn't enough stock to fulfill all the incoming orders. Cancelling them will result in disappointing the customers and potential loss of sales. They do not wish to lose this opportunity of expanding the customer base. To manage this situation, Xyla Electronics can utilize the back ordering functionality within Zoho Books. A back order is typically a purchase order raised from a sales order whenever the items are out of stock or committed to other orders. Let's see how to create a back order. Firstly, let us quickly create a sales order for sending to the customer. If the sales order has any out of stock item, you will notice this option back order now. Click on the same. Select the item that needs to be back ordered and click back order. A purchase order will now be created with the item details already filled in from the sales order. Select the vendor, review the details and hit save. To complete the back ordering process, you can create a bill and record the payment. Now go back to the back ordered sales order. You will notice the purchase order that has been associated with the sales order. This small icon also indicates that it has been back ordered. You also have the option to create a back order from multiple sales orders. Simply bulk select the sales orders, click bulk actions and you can choose the option back order. By implementing back ordering, Xyla Electronics can successfully fulfill the customer orders, minimizing delivery delays and maintain high customer satisfaction levels during the sales season. Let's see another scenario. As a result of its successful operations, Xyla Electronics experiences significant growth and begins receiving bulk orders. In a promising development, Xyla Electronics receives an order for 500 laptops from Mr. John Hector. This order holds a tremendous potential for the company, as successfully fulfilling it could secure a standard contract. However, upon closer inspection, the company realizes that the warehouse does not currently have enough stock to fulfill this large order. To effectively address this situation, Xyla Electronics can employ the use of drop shipments. Using drop shipments, Xyla Electronics can transfer the customer order and shipment details directly to the manufacturer or wholesaler, who will then ship the goods to the customer. This eliminates the need for Xyla Electronics to receive the goods at their warehouses and manually handle the shipping process, thereby reducing time in fulfilling the customer order. Let's see how to raise a drop shipment in Zoho Books. Firstly, you will have to record a sales order. I'm mentioning the quantity ordered. To dropship, click on the three-dotted icon and select the option. Partial dropshipment allows you to dropship the items selectively from your sales order. In this case, we'll be going for the complete dropshipment option. Now, a purchase order is generated to the vendor with the delivery location as per the address of the customer. Select the vendor name, check the details once and hit save and send. You can check this icon which indicates that the purchase order has been marked for drop shipment. You can create an invoice for the sales order and record the payment from the customer. The vendor, after making the delivery to the customer, will raise an invoice for Xyla Electronics. Xyla Electronics can record that invoice as a bill in Zoho Books and record the payment to the vendor as well. So here I am converting the purchase order to a bill and making the payment for the vendor. By completing this process, the drop shipped sales order is moved to the fulfilled status. It's important to note that when raising a bill from the purchase order, the stock of the items will not be increased as they are not delivered to Xyla Electronics warehouse. Instead, the items are sent directly to the customer. Initially, when starting the webinar, I mentioned that Xyla Electronics also manages online stores in Amazon and Shopify. They receive periodic orders in their online channels for which they need to create a sales order manually in Zoho Books, convert it to an invoice so that the inventory levels in Zoho Books matches with the actual stock levels. Missing to create even one transaction in Zoho Books can lead to incorrect stock levels. To address this, we provide direct integration with Amazon and Shopify, allowing seamless synchronization. By integrating the online stores with Zoho Books, it becomes the central stock management system. At any given point of time, the stock levels in Zoho Books will represent the actual stock from the physical store and the online stores. For the purpose of this webinar, let's consider the online sales channel Shopify. To integrate Shopify with Zoho Books, go to Settings, go to the Integration section, Shopping Cart, click Enable Online Sales. Once that is done, you can click on the Setup Now option and you will be redirected to Shopify. Click Connect Shopify. Select the organization to which Shopify should be integrated. And Shopify has been successfully integrated to Zoho Books. Once the integration is set up, the items listed in the online stores are automatically synced to Zoho Books, eliminating the need for manual entry. Based on the item names or SKU, the items from the sales channel such as Shopify are mapped to the items in Zoho Books. If they do not have a match, the items get synced as unconfirmed items. You can check the list of unconfirmed items from the dashboard of Zoho Inventory. Customers who place orders in online stores are also synced as customers in Zoho Books. They are mapped based on the email ID. If email ID is not available, the mapping will take place based on the customer name. When an order is received in Shopify, it is synced as a sales order in Zoho Books. The details of all the sales on Shopify are reflected as sales orders during a sync. We have an automated sync cycle which would automatically keep your organization up to date with your Shopify account. You can also manually update your organization at any point of time. You can go to Settings, Integrations, Shopping Cart, and click the option Sync Manually and choose the module that needs to be synced manually at any given point of time. The sales orders that are synced to Zoho Books can be processed, packed, and invoiced directly. To facilitate delivery, a shipment order is generated from the package details synced back to the online store. This way, online orders can be effectively managed in Zoho Books. Up until now, we explored various inventory tracking capabilities in Zoho Books. We saw how to track item units more precisely using the serial numbers and batch tracking functionalities, how to add multiple items at once using the item groups function. We saw the steps to bundle various items and sell them as a single composite item. We saw a new mode of stock tracking, which is the physical stock, in addition to the accounting stock levels. We were able to cover 3 modules: packages, shipments, and purchase receipts in Zoho Books. We discussed about back ordering and drop shipments and how to effectively utilize them to manage orders. We saw how the entire sales process can be easily automated using the sales order cycle. Finally, we saw how to integrate sales channels to Zoho Books to keep an eye on the stock levels in one place. All these functionalities are available from the Elite plan of Zoho Books. We have now reached the end of our session. Thank you for staying connected. Please feel free to drop your queries in the Q&A tab. You can also reach out to our support team by sending an email or initiating a chat from your Zoho Books organization. You can also call us at the given number and we'll be always available to answer your queries.